Imagine picking up your phone one day and hearing a voice so confident, so persuasive, that within minutes you're convinced to invest thousands of dollars into a stock you've never even heard of. The voice assures you this is the next big opportunity, the chance to make a fortune, and before you know it, you've handed over your hard-earned money. What you don't realize is that the stock you just bought is practically worthless. And the man behind that phone call isn't just a salesman. He's part of a financial empire built on manipulation, deception, and greed. This is the story of Jordan Belfort, the infamous Wolf of Wall Street, and how he sold millions in worthless stocks while living one of the most outrageous lifestyles in American history, the rise of Jordan Belfort. Jordan Belfort didn't grow up wealthy. Born in Queens, New York in 1962, his early life was ordinary. Yet even as a young man, Belfort had a natural gift for persuasion. He began his career not in finance, but as a door-to-door meat and seafood salesman. His ability to convince strangers to buy products they didn't need was unmatched. But when the business collapsed, he turned his eyes to Wall Street. With raw ambition and a relentless drive to succeed, Belfort entered the world of stockbroking, where his talent for sales quickly became his greatest weapon. At first, he worked as a trainee broker, learning the ropes of legitimate finance. But when the market crashed in 1987, he lost his job and faced a harsh reality. Success on Wall Street wasn't just about understanding numbers, it was about playing the game. That's when Belfort discovered the world of penny stocks. These were shares of tiny companies that cost only a few dollars, or even cents each. Most brokers ignored them, but Belfort realized something powerful. The commissions on these cheap stocks were massive. If he could sell them in volume, he could make a fortune. And that's exactly what he did. Stratton Oakmont and the power of persuasion. By the late 1980s, Belfort founded his own firm, Stratton Oakmont. On the surface, it looked like a normal brokerage. But inside, it was a factory of high-pressure salesmen trained to sell worthless stocks with military precision. Belfort designed scripts that played on human psychology. Scripts that built trust, created urgency, and made investors feel like they were getting in on a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. The sales team would cold call thousands of people daily, using charm and intimidation to get them to invest. Once a client put in some money and saw small gains, they would be convinced to invest more, trapping them deeper into the scheme. The strategy was simple but devastating. Stratton Oakmont would aggressively pump up the price of penny stocks by pushing them onto unsuspecting investors. This artificial demand drove the stock higher. Then, once the price was inflated, Belfort and his insiders would dump their own shares at massive profits. When the hype collapsed, the stock would crash, leaving everyday investors with nothing. This pump and dump scheme became Belfort's signature move, and it generated hundreds of millions of dollars. The illusion of wealth and success. As the money poured in, Belfort and his employees built an image of success that was larger than life. Stratton Oakmont's office wasn't just a workplace. It was a playground of excess. Employees were rewarded with cars, watches, and mountains of cash. Parties raged day and night, filled with drugs, alcohol, and extravagance. Belfort himself lived like royalty, with a sprawling Long Island mansion, luxury yachts, helicopters, and sports cars. He surrounded himself with symbols of power and indulgence, becoming the embodiment of greed in the 1990s. But what made Stratton Oakmont especially dangerous was how convincing it all looked. To outsiders, it seemed like a booming firm making ordinary Americans rich. Clients thought they were lucky to have access to these exclusive opportunities. The truth, however, was brutal. For every dollar Belfort and his brokers made, an investor somewhere else was losing everything. Yet people kept falling for it, driven by greed, fear of missing out, and the powerful illusion that they were part of something special. The cracks begin to show. By the early 1990s, Stratton Oakmont had become infamous, not only for its financial schemes, but for its wild culture. Stories of excessive drug use, reckless behavior, and unrestrained greed began to leak out. And soon, regulators took notice. The U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, along with the FBI, began investigating Belfort's firm. Complaints from investors mounted, and journalists started exposing the shady practices behind the glossy image. Belfort, however, believed he was untouchable. His firm was making so much money that he thought no one could bring him down. Even as investigations loomed, he continued to live recklessly, ignoring the warning signs. But the empire he built on lies was beginning to collapse. The fall of the wolf. Investigators exposing his former colleagues and providing inside information about Wall Street corruption. Eventually, he was sentenced to 4 years in prison, but served 22 months. He was ordered to repay over $100 million to defrauded investors, a debt that still haunts him today. The Wolf of Wall Street had lost his empire, his fortune, and his freedom. The man who once sold dreams to thousands was now left with nothing but his own broken legacy, the lessons left behind. Jordan Belfort's story isn't just a tale of excess, it's a lesson in human psychology. His success wasn't built on stocks, it was built on persuasion. He knew how to trigger greed, how to make people fear missing out, and how to manipulate emotions until rational thinking disappeared. Investors didn't just buy stocks from him, they bought the dream of wealth, freedom, and success. And for that dream, millions were lost. After prison, Belfort reinvented himself as an author and motivational speaker, turning his own scandal into a new kind of business. His memoir, The Wolf of Wall Street, became a bestseller and was adapted into a blockbuster film starring Leonardo DiCaprio. Today, Belfort tours the world teaching sales techniques, the same techniques he once used to commit fraud. It's a strange twist of fate, but it reminds us how powerful the art of persuasion can be, for better or worse. In 1996, authorities shut down Stratton Oakmont for good. The truth had finally caught up. Belfort's empire was built on fraud, manipulation, and stolen wealth. He was charged with securities fraud and money laundering, crimes that carried heavy prison sentences. To reduce his time, Belfort agreed to cooperate with investigators, exposing his former colleagues and providing inside information about Wall Street corruption. Eventually, he was sentenced to 4 years in prison, but served 22 months. He was ordered to repay over $100 million to defrauded investors, a debt that still haunts him today. The Wolf of Wall Street had lost his empire, his fortune, and his freedom. The man who once sold dreams to thousands was now left with nothing but his own broken legacy, the lessons left behind. Jordan Belfort's story isn't just a tale of excess, it's a lesson in human psychology. His success wasn't built on stocks, it was built on persuasion. He knew how to trigger greed, how to make people fear missing out, and how to manipulate emotions until rational thinking disappeared. Investors didn't just buy stocks from him, they bought the dream of wealth, freedom, and success. And for that dream, millions were lost. After prison, Belfort reinvented himself as an author and motivational speaker, turning his own scandal into a new kind of business. His memoir, The Wolf of Wall Street, became a bestseller and was adapted into a blockbuster film starring Leonardo DiCaprio. Today, Belfort tours the world teaching sales techniques, the same techniques he once used to commit fraud. It's a strange twist of fate, but it reminds us how powerful the art of persuasion can be, for better or worse. The final word. The rise and fall of Jordan Belfort reveals how dangerous unchecked greed can be. It shows that when ambition turns into obsession, the line between success and crime can disappear. Belfort may have called himself the Wolf of Wall Street, but in the end, even the most cunning predator can't escape the truth. His story serves as a warning. Whenever someone promises you quick riches, exclusive opportunities, or guaranteed success, remember the victims of Stratton Oakmont and ask yourself if you're about to fall into the same trap. If you found this story eye-opening and want to see more deep dives into the rise and fall of powerful figures, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon so you never miss another upload.